Vámonos, Bleaker. Who are we waiting for tonight? Actually, you'll find out. What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday, or as I like to call it, New Comic Book Day Eve. Big day tomorrow. Big day tomorrow. No, the Island Boys are not here for the show or anything like that, but we get them Island Boys. Somebody messaged me a picture of these two other twins that are trying to be like suburban guys or something like that. And I automatically thought about me and BC because me and BC are the ones with the hair in our group. So, yeah, maybe next Halloween we go dressed up as that, but we'll see. We'll see. Thanksgiving, New Comic Book Day Eve, Hawkeye. It's just a crazy week. So, yeah, let's get it started. Let's bring in the gang. Let's bring in the amigos. First up, you know, he's got a hat. His hair is fucking messy. He's got a video arcade right behind him, but he never plays it. It is Mr. BC, Place to Be. What's up, man?
Oh, I thought you were going to introduce Face with that introduction.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Yo, you're going to buzz these Island Boys every time. Can we ban her? Like, tell her not to come back, please.
No, because we're a coastal man.
Yo, I actually
Oh, you know what's funny? Yo, I'm wearing my Gators. They're from Florida, and I'm wearing my, so I don't know what that means. I just... Yeah,
they should be banned from Florida. I saw the suburban one, by the way.
Yo, I was like, the first thing I thought of, I was like, oh, that could be me and BC, but I don't know if I'm gonna dye my hair. All right, let's bring in our continental man, Mr. FaceTime. What's up, man?
I have nothing to contribute to this conversation.
I love the name.
So yeah, Face God, God of Faces. If you guys don't know who they are, or who Face is trying to make fun of, tomorrow there is the first appearance of Iron God. And if you remember our conversation from Sunday, it got a little heated between Thor and the Iron God situation. Our boy 10 Wings, as he liked to call it, Mr. Hyper, who is not here right now, but he's late. Yeah, he's late, and he had something to say about it. But yeah, I'm an island girl. See, there you go. BC, come on.
I'm gonna have to ship her there, man.
Let's say hello to the chat before we get all started. Michael's taking home the gold. Newbie taking silver. I mean, what? I'm not eligible, man. I'm not eligible. If I get called out on it, it's not, the eligibility does not work. Just Cruz, my guy. I'm so goddamn jealous of this guy and Ozzy. Ozzy, if you're in here, I know you're going to be here a little bit late. But both of them went to a shop in Toronto, 6'6", and they were just pulling out fucking gold after gold after gold after gold. And they kept Ozzy kept messaging me, and I'm like, dude, I'm in my office. I can't do anything unless I fake a heart attack. There's no way I can meet you. Okay. So I was a little upset, but hey, there'll be another day that I get to go out with them. Bleaker, channel sponsor of the show. Guys, make sure you guys go check out bleakerstreetcomics.com. Dave Mason, do I get a participation ribbon? No. We keep score here. We keep, no participation. But fourth place is better than 15th place or 30th place. So keep that in mind.
What is the current score? I'm just curious.
The score of what?
Since we're keeping score.
Oh, because like there's a lot, like in today's world, there's a lot of like sporting stuff. Like when kids are born, like young kids, they play in these leagues where there's no score.
Yeah.
And I don't believe in that. Like I believe you have to lose in life and you have to fall down in order to get back up.
So guys, welcome to the new show
kind of sense.
Where the points don't matter.
No, the points matter. The points definitely matter. You need to lose in life. That is how you appreciate the win. That's how I was raised. But that's like Latin crazy people ways. So yeah. Dan Delatorre, who made his debut at the Comic Kingpins yesterday with you guys, or actually BC, you weren't on there when I was there. So
sadly, no. I missed last night, but it wasn't Dan's first time on with us. But yes, as the King, he was there.
He's been on a couple times, sure.
Yeah. But as the Kingpins, it's the first.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So I'm technically right. This goes back to like the Thor and the Iron God.
No. That's two separate things, man.
Yeah. Wesley, what's up, man? 50%.
Yeah, we'll give you this one.
Specs, who we're waiting for. We are waiting for hype. Empire Comics, my brother. What is going on, sir? Waiting for the Island Boys. The newbie boys. You know what? If they can make 2 million off that, I think I could too. So I don't even care. I really don't.
If I get referred to as a newbie boy, I swear to God, I'm done. I'm quitting after this.
Boy, you know somebody's just gonna take a. You know, if Sith wasn't on his honeymoon, he'd probably be all over this. But yeah, actual Dracula, another member of the Canadian 666. What is going on, sir? How are you? He's doing some good stuff with Ozzy. He's got a they drop some content Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you guys check them out.
Yeah, man.
Uncanny Swag, what is going on? AOA, Gators just fired their coach. Okay, fired or parted ways, right? Because that was the headline I read, parted ways, which means they couldn't really stay in the top 10 the last 2 years, and then they had
means he got fired.
Yeah, but as long as we beat Florida State this weekend, I'm happy, because then I can talk to Brian Simplemans, who is a big Florida State fan, and we always kind of go back and forth about it. So, yeah. Thor God versus Iron God. Yep, this again. What's up, RP? What's going on, man? RP, me and Ozzy are getting together for a little road trip, so we'll kind of get you in the loop and see if you want to tag along, man. Be nice to see you again. All right. Hardcore Island Mons.
Oh, man.
I wish I had like my long hair, but I couldn't do it anymore. Kenneth, hi to everybody. All right.
Hold on, you had long hair?
Yeah.
I want pictures of this ASAP.
Yeah, dude, I had long hair.
Yeah,
I had like
see this.
I had like cornrows. Yeah, man.
Oh, wow.
Young Sean Paul over here.
Yeah, I had longer hair than Keys, man. My
We
hair
need
was
pictures.
Bullshit.
I swear to God.
We need
I swear to
pictures.
God. I mean, no. I'll show you a picture because I don't want you guys screenshotting it. And
No, you are going to send us this picture.
no, man, what's going on,
We
man?
need it.
Biggie Shaq, what's going on? Biggie Shaq will be on DJ Links this Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, if I'm not mistaken, and they're doing their little their rap thing. It's actually kind of cool, especially if you were a big 8 Mile fan and you want to be a rapper. This is the place to be. Biggie's got the rhymes, so make sure you guys go check him out. I'm a Gator also. Yeah. I mean, I think he's too old, but we'll see. Specs, man, what's going on? We need pics of your long hair.
Yep. No, put it up.
What? No, I can't. I don't have it on a computer, man.
It's on your phone. Guarantee it's probably your screensaver.
Screensaver. Swear to Iron God. I swear. Cross my Dr. Doom and hope to Silver Surf. Hey, that was actually pretty good for like.
That was terrible.
Well, they all can't be golden records, man. They all can't be Island Boys. What is going on, man? To everybody who's here, I wish everybody will have a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner and day with family members. Yes.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
We got to give some credit.
Hey, Face, you making the turkey for us this weekend or what?
Fuck no, but I'm eating it.
He definitely has picks.
Yeah.
Cornrow picks. Yeah. I had cornrows. I was like the guys. I was the idiot. I was in a school full of you're either Italian or Latin. So. Yeah. And that was when 8 Mile came out. Like when I was in high school, like jerseys, baggy stuff, like chains, Air Forces. Did I say 8 Mile? All that stuff was in style. So like, you know,
I will bet my left one that you guaranteed have a photo of you like cross-armed and everything with the long hair. Please tell me you do.
No, man. No.
Yes, you do. Yo, we gotta get these photos.
All right, guys, ladies, everybody watching now, later. In the rewind, and I also apologize. My humidifier is not working, so like inside my house is like super dry. So if you hear me sniffling, it's just because my house is dry. But my buddy is a HVAC guy, and he's coming tomorrow, so we're good. But yeah, Allen Iverson, yes, dude. My favorite players growing up was Jordan, Kobe, and AI. So yeah, that's it's kind of where it kind of started, I think. Yeah, baby fat. Oh man, your wife was back then.
She's just as gangster as it gets.
Oh man, I remember back in the day, my high school girlfriends, because I had a job like at 14. We would just go to Winners because jerseys were in style. So everybody would go and buy the jerseys at like a sports store for like $100, and then I would just go to Winners and buy them for like $30. So like my girl in high school always had like 5 or 6 jerseys for the price of like one. So like I always just kind of look kind of cool. But yeah, that was the secret back then. You always shopped at Winners. even though it wasn't cool, they had the same shit as the big stores. Winners is like
I thought you went to Stitches or some shit.
fuck Stitches, man. No, come on. We're talking practice. Does anybody remember the wristband with the answer on it? I played basketball like for high school and college, so I used to wear that. Yeah, dude, I'm aging myself here. This is like 2002, 2003. But all right, you guys ready?
Did you ever have the sweatbands?
I wore sweatbands in one game. Okay, one game, and
I need pictures of that too.
yo, listen. Actually, my father came to watch me play, and I actually had
water.
I actually had the wristband like on an angle, right? So it was only covering like one thing. And I remember my dad like at halftime was like, "Hey, come here for a second," and then he like kind of gave me one of those. He was like, "Man, you put the headband on right, or you take it off?" And I was like, "Yes, sir. Yeah." That was it. That was the last time I wore a headband. But this is also the guy that like I played quarterback in high school, and when I scored a touchdown, I'd always do like some dance or whatever. And my dad would he'd call me and just back of my head. He's like, you act like you've been there, and that's kind of how I grew up. So yeah, dude, I'm 5'9", okay, but I got a 3 ball. So just saying.
He's 5'9" in his Timberlands.
No, I don't have Timberlands. All right, let's welcome in everybody. Like I said, if you're watching on the rewind or now, we are getting into the newbieverse. We're going to be talking undervalued books. So these are books that we hopefully all three of us can agree, but definitely me agrees that these are still undervalued. There's still some meat on the bone. So if you're looking for some kind of investment, these are maybe some books that were kind of slept on and you kind of forgot about them, but the prices are right and it's still time to buy. So with that, let's start the show. Mr. Ozzy himself, what is going on, sir? How are you? Ozzy, like I said, is with Actual Dracula tomorrow night, Wednesdays on Dracula's channel, 9 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys go check him out. We all saw you next to Iron Man newbie 5. No, man, that thing is like way off. Get out of here. Get out of here. That's not real. And I remember telling Ozzy, I'm like, there's no way that that's real. So, all right, let's go, guys. Let's go. I feel like we talked about like my basketball life and my cornrows way too much there. All right, first up, guys, are you ready? Yes. Like, are you guys?
Go.
Oh, okay. All right. First up, guys. First up, Spider-Gwen #1, first solo series, undervalued 100%. Next best book after her. BC, I love the fact that this one's on the list because you actually have her first appearance, which is like a $2,000 book. I think last time I checked in a 9.8. Yeah, 9.8 for this book in CGC were selling for 130 as of October 17th. But have recently gone down. I know Ozzy's in here. I know Just Cruz is in here. When we went to the Fan Expo in Toronto, we actually picked up a few of these for like $20 a pop. I think we worked out a deal and it was like 15 a pop. Yeah. Still undervalued. You could find these in the wild, even at a 9.6, 9.8. Once she hits, again, that Spider-Verse 2 is coming. You kind of have to bet that this is going to be one of those characters. And again, if you're sitting back saying, well, I mean, I'm more of a Miles. Well, if you believe in Miles and you think Miles is the future, you got to believe that this character will be up there with him. She will be a pivotal point in the future. This is a good book to have. What do you guys think?
Dude, I agree. Look, whether you want to go spec just comic related, but like even in everything else, like Marvel really markets and pumps the hell out of Spider-Gwen, Gwen Stacy. Yeah, so look at this guy flexing. But
just know I don't have all the books. I'm not going to be showing off all the books from this list because I don't have all the books on the list. But
yeah, no, dude, it's still very affordable, man. I still come across them at like you said, the $20 range, $15 range. So definitely pick them up, man. If you do see them, it is undervalued. I totally agree. And like I said, they're totally pumping Spider-Gwen and like Gwen Stacy stuff everywhere. Like my kids' cartoons, she's there. You know what I mean? Miles, Peter, her.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend anybody buy this. Well, it depends, right? I mean, if you ask people right now, CGC or any grading system, well, especially CGC, it's a tough 9.8 to get right now. So it kind of just depends. Like, are you a guy that, or a person rather, that wants just those 9/8? But I mean, I really think that you can find a really solid copy and send it off to a good presser. You know, I don't think you need it cleaned. I don't think a lot of these are going to be dirty. It's a fairly newer book, right? So, you know, I think if you got a good press, you could probably get a 9.6, 9.8 raw, paying like $10 to $15 for this book.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Gwen's one of those characters where, like, she, you know, even if you take out any of like the MCU spec or anything like that, like you look at her action figures and like Halloween costumes and shit, and that stuff still sells, even to casuals that don't not necessarily know who she is.
Yep.
Just because, you know, it's a cool character design, people dig it. So, you know, if she can, you know, make that kind of money in merchandising with people not even knowing who she is, it's only a matter of time before they really feature her in a movie or a series or something like that, because obviously she can sell. So,
and dude, it like Face was just saying, it's a character that like literally even the casual fans dig. But Spider-Gwen's getting her own Gwen verse that you're dropping in February too. Like, so they're putting a lot of faith behind Spider-Man. So yeah, this is still affordable, and I would definitely pick it up.
Yeah, and I also think it's a character like, because I've had this not argument, like I've had this discussion with people where they're like, well, I don't know, man, because like I had people who were kind of like against it, where they were like, well, I don't know, man, because think about it, Spider-Man still doesn't have Black Cat. Spider-Man to Black Cat is a little different than Miles to Spider-Gwen. I think when you introduce Miles, you kind of have to introduce Spider-Gwen. It's just they're there together, you know, like just it's a thing. So
hold on, I don't get what you're saying. Spider-Man, Black Cat, you mean like Spider-Man MJ?
No, Black Cat.
Okay.
Like Felicia. Like when like these guys that I was talking to were like, you like they were trying to make the argument that it's not necessarily a for sure thing, right? And I was like, I understand that, because they were saying like Black Cat is still not appeared in Spider-Man, right? But she's still a pivotal part in like the cartoon and this and that, and people have been specking on it for a long time. So they were like, well, we still haven't got Black Cat for Spider-Man, so like who's to say we get Spider-Gwen for Miles, right? And I was like, okay, yeah, I kind of see it, but I just think that Miles, you kind of have to have Spider-Gwen if you're doing Miles, right? So
well, I think it's a little different just because, you know, Spider-Gwen, she can carry her own franchise regardless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I not to say that Black Cat can't or anything like that, but it's definitely easier for Spider-Gwen to, you know, be a featured character.
Yeah,
because I mean, she already is really in the comics. So
yeah.
And I'm also with Specs, man. I like Aranya. I was a big fan of it. It's getting to be a book that's like getting up there too. Like a lot of people are kind of jumping on that. Even the series, there's a few first appearance in there that, you know, if you're kind of going to follow that route, I mean, but it's possible, right? I mean, at this point, but that's a book that I'm actively always looking for. Just never found in the wild.
It's up there already, though.
Yeah. Oh, I know. That's a book that you're gonna have to find it raw. There's no, you know what I mean? Like it's they did in the animated series, so why not in the MCU? Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
yeah.
All right. Exactly. Next book, and we're sticking with the females because Newbie loves to show love to the females. I'm also showing love to DC here. So we got Batman 92. Now, why did I pick this one? Well, this is simply because this is her first cover, right? Sought after character. Well, who knows? I mean, after the Harley Quinn, it's possible. This book I have seen, though, jump like crazy in the last 2.5 months. It's a book that I'm actively looking for always, but it just gets up there in price, man. Like my comic shop has at least like one or two of them every week, it seems, and every week they go up in price. They pass each other in price, man. It's like, you know, if one sells for 80 US today, the next week it's 85, then the next week it's 90, then the next week it's 100, and things like that. So this one is kind of getting into that point. I do like this book. I had 2 copies. I was an idiot and sold them. I should have kept one, but it is what it is. I have high hopes on Punchline. Just to let you guys know too, and ladies, 9.9 CGC sold for $700 Canadian, while 9.8 sold for $247. You're not going to find many 9.9s, but
on the same day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and that information is brought to you by eBay. So, but yeah, what do you guys think?
Yeah, man, dude. When this dropped, I immediately stocked up. So I still have quite a few copies set aside. You do find them in the wild, man, and they are pretty cheap, like you said. So it's definitely a good buy for a first cover. Surprisingly, I still see some Hell Arisen every now and then at pretty decent pricing.
I want that book, man. I want
Yeah,
that.
but when I say decent, like I'm talking like 60 to 80 Canadian. Like it's up there, right? But I just picked up Batman 89, which is the first cameo, and I picked that up. It was a second or third print. I can't remember.
What color is it?
Um,
If it's the purple one, it's the second.
no, it's kind of like pink, but like the
red.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Okay.
But yeah, I got that one for $5 too. Like Punchline books are still out there for pretty cheap, but for Batman 92, definitely pick it up. I mean, first cover, beautiful book, a lot of potential behind this character.
And it's not like she's like on the cover like this big with like it's literally
No, it's all her.
boom. Yeah, hello,
Yeah.
right? So
And dude, I don't know if anyone's reading the Joker run right now, but she's a very interesting character, man. I'm digging her.
Really? You don't know if anybody's reading the Joker run right now? Really?
Well, no, I know you are. I'm just saying.
yeah, AOA saying $453 gap is impressive from a 9.8 to a 9.9. Yeah, it's fucking insane. Wow,
that's nuts, dude.
Did you guys not hear?
Gap.
I don't know if you guys have heard, but there was a ASM 361 that actually sold 9.9, and it went for like 40K or something like that.
What?
Holy shit!
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Punchline is a great character. She's being well written right now in DC, and hopefully that continues. She's, you know, the type of character she's like perfect. She'd be like a perfect arch nemesis for Harley, who already is a huge character. So setting them two up together would be, you know, kind of almost a no-brainer. I think that'll definitely happen at some point. As far as this issue, you know, it was interesting because I actually remember when this was coming out, and this cover was going to be on a different issue. Yeah, I think it was 94 or something like that, and then COVID hit and everything got pushed back, and there was delays and all kinds of other stuff, and they moved it up to 92, and there ended up being about 1 million copies when it came out. So that might be the only slight drawback to this, is that there were a lot of copies when it first came out. But yeah, whenever Punchline hits, and it's probably only a matter of time. I mean, you know, she's another one, like we were just talking about with Spider-Gwen. She's got a cool character design, and people like her without even knowing a whole lot about her already. So
markability, man. Markability.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, this is definitely. I gotta find another one of these. I've been looking, but again, you know, it's such a modern book. I don't want this book in like an 8.0 or an 8.5. I mean,
oh, dude, I'll check. I said I have some. If I have extra,
I appreciate that, man.
I'll just charge you 3 times the price. That's it. I'm just letting you know I have them. That's it.
Well, let's get off the lady train here, and we're gonna go into one of my favorite books, actually, and something that I've been talking about. Well, I used to talk about it way more back in my early YouTube days, but West Coast Avengers 1. Now, this book, up until about, I want to say up until last, when was the last time I found a few? I would say just for probably, let's say January. So like this January, right? So 11 months ago, this was probably a $1 book anywhere and everywhere. I think if you scroll and creep me far enough, I mean, I found like 15 of them for $1 at the warehouse that I usually go to. I mean, it's a great book. I just recently went to a show and actually paid $10 for a copy. One, it was like an extremely great grade. It's a hard 9.8 to get, especially today. It's a white book. The first appearance of the West Coast Avengers, something that I was kind of specking on that they could probably touch down in the future. Maybe they touch on it, you know, kind of in Armor Wars or something like that. But something that I did believe in. It's a cool book to have. Why not? Still cheap enough. Raw copies sell anywhere. Yeah, like I said, between $10 and $15. And a 9.8 just sold for $300 Canadian. Again, we go back to it. We talked about it on Sunday, right? not mega crazy books, you're looking at about $200 to $300 Canadian for a 9.8, right? So it's kind of on par with it. So it's just kind of like, okay, do you want to bite the bullet and kind of make that transaction, right? But that's where you're kind of looking. So yeah, definitely a book I believe in, still undervalued 100% in my opinion.
Yeah, dude, no, I agree 100%. I still see them pretty damn cheap, man. Approximately at the $5 range, $10 range, like you said. But it's got potential as the first appearance of the West Coast Avengers. It's a beautiful cover. Specking, I don't know, man. You think this would hit in the MCU? I mean,
I can see an adaptation of West Coast, but I mean, probably like a show or something. They could be hinted at in some of the movies with like some of these characters that are in play and like kind of coming up. So you never know. But like teams, not necessarily, you know, like we go back to the Thunderbolt stuff, right? Like, I don't necessarily think that, you know, a Hulk 449 will be a crazy book. I think the individual characters will be, right? Like, it's different for some teams. And I think that this one kind of falls into that, but people are still going to go crazy when anybody hears anything about West Coast Avengers, right? They're just going to kind of go into it. And if we're talking investment and we're talking things like that, I mean, this is where people are probably going to jump. And this is where you're probably going to see an increase in your money if it ever does happen, right? But again, I mean, if you can find them for like $3, I mean, it's no different than getting fucking anything else, right? First Virus, Nebula 1, you know, like all this shit that people spec on. So
for sure. But I'm just saying, at $10-15 Canadian, I want a guaranteed 9.8 candidate. You know what I mean?
That's what I like. But you do see that because in the copies that I've seen for $10 to $15, I've seen 9.8 candidates.
Yeah.
So
no, I agree, man. You can still find them even lower than $10-15 Canadian.
Oh, 100%.
So it's an awesome pickup. Just, you know, for the history behind the book, it's just cool to own.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if they do something with West Coast Avengers, it'll be kind of like, you know, Newbie just mentioned with the Thunderbolts. It may not be like the exact lineups or anything like that, but you know, it'll still be something maybe similar. Like they'll use a few of the same characters, throw in some different, you know, characters, and as long as they basically call it the same name. And I could see them doing like a Disney Plus series with some of them, like the more quirky characters getting together as a group and calling them the West Coast Avengers or something like that. Like I could see something like that happening. So yeah, I mean, definitely, you know, it's a book like you guys said, you find it in the dollar bins all the time. So come across a nice copy, sure.
Well, before we move on, let's bring in our other amigo who is just joining us right now. You cannot find him in the dollar bins. Actually, you can find him in the dollar bins because he
for 4 hours
through books very slow. He is none other than Hyper Combo, the 10 Wings.
Oh no. Yo, that was straight.
That's not cool, man.
You know, Face was doing that behind camera also.
Definitely, absolutely, 100%.
Hi, welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. You want to touch on this one, or do you want to move on to the next one, man?
It's a good book.
Beautiful. That was honestly motivational. Congratulations.
No, listen. In all seriousness, we know that the show is coming tomorrow. So
what?
Hawkeye.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. Hawkeye. The show is coming tomorrow. So what? You know, like it's been the case with the other previous MCU shows. Sometimes it's like, even though you know we know things are going to play out in certain ways, it's almost like a seeing is kind of believing mentality.
Yep.
So expect to see this and other books probably. I'm not going to say it's going to blow up, but it might just have like that minor blip.
Yep. The Great Lake Avengers. I think they'll stop there. I think before they get there, they're like, all right, we we definitely need to get new creators here.
Mhm.
Spexman is saying X Factor 1, Alpha Flight 1, same price, better bets. Yep. Again, yeah, you can put those ones on there. All right. Next book. Now, this one, hear me out, people. Hear me out. Because even I was like, well, what was that?
I said, bro, this is.
You thought he had a stroke?
Yes, I am. Dude, I want this book, but fuck, it's expensive. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I'm like, what the fuck? What are you? Okay.
We were about to cut the show early.
We got AS 747 classic cover with Craven showing up. Just like BC said, he wants it, but it's expensive. Okay, it's expensive, but we all know the deal, right? It is confirmed already this character is coming. So what's going to end up happening? Anything related to him, especially the iconic covers, the classic covers are all going to jump. This one will probably follow suit. I get it. People are like, well, Noob, I can't pay $700 for a 9.4. I'm not saying you need to. Find yourself a raw copy. They're out there. Trust me. I have seen a few. Are they in the range of 60 to 200? Yeah, but if you got a good cleaner, if you got a good presser, this book you will probably need to clean 100%. It is fucking super white. But nevertheless, even lower grades I think will have a jump, and sometimes those ones do jump higher in percentages than like a 9.8, right? Like we always get obsessed with that 9.8 price, but you know, when you look at some of the jumps in the percentages, sometimes those lower ones do have a bigger jump in essence. So just be careful. It is a book to maybe keep your eye out. But again, we see that this happens. I mean, look at Kang. There were some books with just fucking Kang on it that had nothing to do with it. Fantastic Four 323. I'm calling you out. That was like a $25 book for like 3 days. Okay. That was $1 book. So, I mean, and it's back to being $1 book. I'm not saying this is going to be $1 book afterwards, but this is definitely a book Craven fans, or when Craven does come, people are just going to chase.
Yeah, dude, it's like I said, it's a book that I wish to have. It's anywhere in between the prices that you're mentioning too. $60 is really, really on the low end on condition though. I've seen 2 copies in front of me, but one of them being in the better condition was asking for a ridiculous price. Hyper, I think you may have even seen it at one of our LCSs.
Did I?
Possibly. It was recently there on the behind the cash. But yeah, man. Dude, you mentioned that it's confirmed. Is it confirmed that Craven's going to be coming? Or?
Well, that guy was rumored and confirmed to play it, right? The guy that played Quicksilver or whatnot?
Sure.
That solo series?
Confirmed or not, I mean, it's almost inevitable to get a villain like Craven down the road, hopefully within the MCU. But even if not, for myself, this is just a book to definitely pick up.
Early Spidey, man. Early Spider-Man.
Yeah, man. It's hard to complete some early Spidey, books within the collection. It's some of the prices are very hard, providing the conditions too. But hey, it is what it is. It's I sound like a broken man trying to complete his set.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with some of these Silver Age ASM villains. I mean, in terms of where I would place Craven, I mean, there's definitely a few more Spider-Man villains I'd probably put above Craven. He's still a cool character, definitely would want to have him in the PC, but I wouldn't say he's like on my radar. Side note, I'm kind of glad that they updated his wardrobe, and ditched the whole Jennifer Lopez Caprice thing that he's wearing right now.
Oh, stop! I thought you loved that.
You're such a hater, man. What's wrong with J-Lo?
Nothing.
It's just he doesn't want to imagine J-Lo on Craven, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, this is a really hard book to find in a high grade just because of that white cover, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's obviously, a great cover, classic Craven. I do remember there was some announcement about him recently. I can't remember what it was exactly that they announced. But there was something
the guy was confirmed for the role. Like that was it. That's all they said. That he was confirmed to play the guy to play Craven. That was it.
So,
That's as far as it went. They never said where, when, how, movie, show, solo, this, that. No. They just said this guy's playing Craven.
So yeah, so you know, obviously, if they've got somebody that they're casting as him, sounds like he's gonna be showing up soon. So, and I hope they do. I hope they do Craven justice, though. I really do.
Yeah,
Such a good character and such a good storyline. It's
You
a
know
tough
what?
one to adapt to the MCU because, man, that especially the way it ends, you know.
You know what's funny is everybody's making fun of the pants, but I mean, let's be real. And I think I said this the last time I was at Fan Expo.
Oh, don't
with
tell me you
Oppenheimer.
have a character.
No, no.
You know,
I had said to those guys, I go, you know what's really fucked up is if you think about it, if there was like an actual real life Spider-Man out there right now, he would literally be wearing like tights, like that's how he would be dressed, like. And yeah, so I mean,
Yeah.
you know, Superman, same thing. Flash, same thing.
Yo, so
You know,
it is true. Aaron Taylor Johnson is Craven the Hunter, coming to theaters January 2020.
I know it's true. I
Yeah.
just told the people.
I'm sorry, bro. I did not hear this news, so I'm excited now. Okay.
yeah,
I can see it on BC's face.
Shit.
Keep up. All right. This is one of my favorite books to find, and Ozzy, Just Cruz, BC. I can't remember who else, but you guys teased me with it after I talked about it, and then I was finally able to get a copy. I got it at the show. I paid about $15 for it. But we got Incredible Hercules, number 133. This is the origin of a oh my God.
Let's
Jameis.
do it.
No.
Who is it?
Mr. Cho. Could this be the next best thing after his first appearance?
Well, I don't think they got the first name.
It doesn't matter, man. They can read.
Did you just call it Amanda?
Listen,
Amadeus.
Amadeus.
There we go.
This book can be found in the dollar bins. No CGCs yet, right? I couldn't find any information on any of the CGCs on Amadeus Cho, but they are coming because I know I'm sending one off to CGC very shortly. I think the heat will come to this one. I don't think that people still kind of know too much about this book, but yeah, definitely a book that I would be on the lookout for 100%. Still cheap enough. That trickle effect, that heat. I mean, if there's a lot of people who are on Cho, so this one should follow suit.
Yeah, no, dude, I agree. And I think, yeah, we all pretty much nudged you at one point saying, like, dude, put this on the radar. It's like Newbie said, pretty much, you know, right after the first appearance, you want the origin, and it's a great book to pick up. They're still out there. You still see them in dollar bins. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. It's dirt cheap, man. Yeah, true, but
Listen, but look at Dr. Doom stuff. Number 2, the annual number 2 is the book, but then people are still putting up Fantastic Four issue, the one where it's like his origin of him in school, and then there's like a Fantastic Four annual number 7, which is like partly his origin, but it's all recap too. It's still, you know, a big book. I think, you know, people are still going to go after it. You know, so I don't know. I think it's still a pretty good book to get, whether it's a recap or not. People are just going to go to it, and I think people are going to be after the fact that it's going to be a tough 9-8. It's going to be a good trophy.
Yeah. I gotta give actually a shout out to Marvel 67. He was actually on this book, I think, a year or 2 years ago, because I remember in one of our LCS's Facebook claim sales, he actually claimed this exact book, and he asked me to pick it up for him. So after this, so it was actually on my radar. So I actually ended up finding one also myself in the dollar bin. So shout out to Marvel for that little.
I think we all have this book. I think this is one of the books that we all have.
But yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I found it in the dollar bin, so it's a cheap spec at this point. So
yeah,
you really can't go wrong.
Yeah, and dude, they're still out there. That's the best part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, never David.
Oh, what is it?
Got me.
Face
I'm
rip.
Right? That was fucking
There you
horrible.
go. 50% of this
Oh.
panel can't pronounce the guy's name. Fuck.
Seriously.
Wait, are you sure it's not 20% newbie? And if it was, how would we do this math?
Nah, but Amadeus is one of those next gen characters that is probably going to show up in some form or fashion. I don't know when or how they'll bring him in, but it just feels like they will bring him in at some point. Probably put him together with the rest of the champions, or possibly the Agents of Atlas. Something like that. There's a lot of possibilities.
Great
there
Lake Avengers. Great Lake Avengers.
I would hope they wouldn't put him on that team, but
you never know, man.
Yeah.
So,
but there's lots of possibilities there for him. So, any of these early key issues definitely have some value.
Yeah. All right, this one, I don't know how you guys feel about this one, but I really still believe in this, and here's why. So this is New Mutants 87. If you don't know what this is, well, this is the first appearance of Cable. Deadpool 2, he was very successful. Deadpool 3, maybe possibly an X-Force future. They have said that they want Ryan Reynolds to kind of play the role for a bit longer. Josh Brolin is signed to be Cable for, I think, 2 projects, but it gets kind of tricky because he is, in that universe already. So whether those projects include some stuff in the MCU or Marvel, right? Who knows? But the whole time travel, multiverse, things like that, who knows what could happen? Now, just hear me out. The last 9.8 sold was $790 Canadian on September 11th. Even before that, the book was back up to about $1,200. Now, if you go and check now, I do think that it's still lower than $790. If one of you guys is on your phone, you guys could check, or if somebody's in the chat, but definitely think that it is cheaper. I really do think that once again, when Cable does come back, he will be the book will just have meat on the bone. So if you're looking for an investment, I'm not saying go and buy 10 copies of this and 9/8 or anything like that, but there is money to be made. I think once the character reintroduces, I think you got something. Again, he's a time traveler, people. X-Men, popular character from the show, possibly back in X-Men 97. So who knows, once we kind of get, I could totally see it where we kind of just get confirmation of which characters. I know they said that all the original characters are coming, but if they do one of those things where they're like, hey, Cable's going to be part of this show, you can bet that this book is going to go rise in price again. Just to give you guys a heads up, after Deadpool 2, the book in 9/8 was like $250 Canadian. And then it jumped all the way back up for $1,200 once Deadpool 3 was confirmed. And now it's kind of trickling down a bit. So you do have that trickle effect. So who's to say it doesn't happen again?
Yeah, dude. It's crazy because, like, I still find this for pretty cheap, given it's his first appearance, and I figure Cable's a pretty big character, man. Most people tend to love Cable that I speak to. So, surprisingly, even the second print, I don't know if you guys have ever
gold
seen
one.
it. Yeah, it's gold. I picked it up recently, and it's a 9/8 candidate, dude, and
it's pretty cheap.
Yeah, I picked it up for $6.
Yeah, it's super cheap.
Yeah, so. I hope to see Cable hop over into the MCU somehow with the Fox merger and everything. It would be absolutely amazing to see him there. Deadpool is obviously going to be there too. And dude, there's tons of potential. You know what I mean? With
I'm also banking on the X-Force thing too.
Yeah, exactly. I hope it's difficult because I don't know if they would do this on Disney Plus. But if they would go the X-Force route, I would love it in a series, bro. A mini series where, anything goes. Just let them be X-Force.
Yeah. So look, I dig the character Cable. Obviously growing up with the animated series and the Jim Lee comics, Cable was one of those characters I followed. But it's one of those characters also that. If I find this book on the cheap, I'll grab it just because it's a cool first appearance, but it's not a book that is on my radar per se.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just checked the 9/8 for this copy. So your price is actually pretty on the ball right now because it's averaging between 650 to like 800 or so.
Even at 650,
yeah.
If I was really like a big fan of cable, I'd probably jump on it right away. Because I do think, like I said, once he comes back, I mean, we've seen it over and over and over again, right? Once these characters show up, boom, it just goes back. That 650 could be $1,000 when he shows up again. That's just kind of what we see. 9/8 of big characters usually tend to cross that $1,000 threshold. It just happens.
Yeah, so I mean, that's like a direct. I think I only saw one newsstand because there's not that many 9/8 newsstands CGC. So that one actually crossed over $1,200 or $1,300. And to BC's point, the second print, a 9/8 copy sold for $80.
Yeah, it's wicked. I'm so puzzled as to why. Is it because it's a high print run? Like, does anybody know?
Probably. I mean, it seems like 90-second prints don't garner the same value, if you noticed.
But
like,
it's a significant dip.
Even the Carnage second print, I mean, the Carnage second print started just recently getting up in value, but for the longest time, that second print was also a sub $100 book.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know.
A great character. I mean, he's the epitome of the 90s, you know, with the pouches, you know, the big shoulder pads, the huge gun, everything like that. So, I mean, there's always going to be a nostalgia vibe with Cable, I think, for a lot of us.
Similar with Bishop, right? Like Bishop.
Yeah, exactly. There's definitely a nostalgia vibe there with him too. You know, it's just one of those new characters that were introduced whenever we were young and getting into comics. It got huge, so it stands out for us. And yeah, Josh Brolin really did kill it, I thought, as Cable, you know, in Deadpool 2. So I would love to see, you know, him, Deadpool, and Domino, you know, do an X-Force movie together. Like that would
man.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that some people don't understand. And actually, talking with our buddy Ryan from Automatic Comics, and you guys, if you guys have followed him, you know how he does business, and you know how he does books and flips books and sells books and things like that. This is a character that we will see again. So if you were to make an investment and you go to the bank and put money away for a year or a year and a half, you still wouldn't make the same amount of money if you would buy 2 9/8 of this at, say, $650. And when the character comes, it's a $1,200-$1,300 book. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the way I'm kind of looking at it, where we know this character's coming again. It's been confirmed. He's signed. It's happening. So that jump will go back because people tend to forget about a character that's not relevant. It's not in our face. We know it's coming, but it's not in our face, right? So just something to be on the lookout for.
And again, because it'll be news to me that he is confirmed.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
So
sincerely, truly.
All right, guys. One of the biggest books that I think everybody should be picking up, because a lot of people are talking about Khazar and everything like that. But this is the first appearance of Shauna the She-Devil, or her first solo. Sorry. If Khazar's coming, she's coming. Raw copies selling anywhere between $60 and $100. Now, I will say at Fan Expo, I found 2 copies. I'd say they were probably about 8.0s, 8.5s for $90 Canadian. So there is some money to be made if you could find a really good one in Raw. Now, again, guys, if your eyes are working, the book is white. So you're probably going to need a good cleaner, good presser, definitely, to make this thing kind of pop. But definitely a good book I would be on the lookout for. I am on the lookout for. I just really want to find a really high grade of this Raw.
Yeah, dude, if everything Khazar does play out, then yeah, definitely this is most likely a book you would want to pick up as the follow-up. Did you purposely put that pause there? I love it. Your notes are the shit.
Yeah, they're the shits.
Yeah, the shit. I don't know, man. Picking it up on the low end, yeah, I think $60. Again, it's a bit risky because I don't know, man. Khazar, yes or no? Like it's one of those, like, if it plays out, then it's a solid win. If it doesn't, well, you know, I feel like I could have taken that $100, put it somewhere else. it's one that I would keep in the back of my mind for now. And like you said, you know what I mean. Like all things are possible. Should Kazar pop into the MCU? But yeah, no, I keep an eye out for it. Definitely.
It's funny because I don't know if it was Lords of the Long Box or some channel. They mentioned how you've explored different realms in Marvel Comics and in the MCU, but no one's really actually, aside from the animated series, no one really touched on like the Savage Lands, which I think would be a cool
Yeah.
place to visit, especially in live action, because
Remember, they did reference it in
Yes,
Shang-Chi.
in Shang-Chi.
Right. So I mean, usually, I mean, we don't know if that's just an Easter egg because Marvel does tend to drop Easter eggs. You saw that in WandaVision where every single Easter egg people thought it actually was meant something, but it was just Marvel just tipping the hat, right? So
Yeah.
but I think it would be cool to have Savage Land in live action because then you
Agreed.
introduce several characters that people are wanting to see, like Kazar and Shido and Sauron and the whole gamut. So this would be a book I would probably pay attention to. I mean, again, I'm more partial to Kazar.
That's a win. That right there is a win. 100%. 129. That's a good buy. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I just want to point out, Comic Ozzy, that X-Men 10, Hyper, again, at the same LCS, they had it up. They were asking some heavy coin for it, man.
Is it okay? Hold on. I know I can tell you don't want to name the LCS, but
No, it's Hunter.
okay, all right. Oh yeah, okay. I figured that would be the shop that would have it. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, they were asking some heavy coin for it.
For that X-Men 10, you mean, or for this book?
10.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not surprised. But yeah, I just think it would be a dope concept just to visit that whole landscape in general. So yeah, this might be a book to pay attention to.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I would love to see them do something with the Savage Land.
Yeah.
More so than just the animated series. And Kazar is an important part of that. Like Newbie Slide says, if Kazar is coming, she's probably coming. I'm not sure why we're pausing at that point, but whatever.
I'm trying to stay hip with the kids, man. Every time younger people talk to me, I'll say something like pause, and I'm like, what?
That's the cool thing, I guess.
I don't know, man.
Before we get to the next
right.
book, bro, I do want to mention something to Hyper. Okay, Hyper, just hang tight.
Do I take it off?
No, it's hilarious. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. All right. What's up?
No, after once face is done.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Did you know Newbie had long hair and cornrows?
Oh yeah. But apparently, I think Keys vouched. I never saw pictures, but yeah, Keys did mention that was the case.
I feel like this is a good time for him to make his appearance out of the Savage Land.
right. For experience.
Oh boy. All right.
Newbie, that was all BC. I didn't even have any part in that.
We're going to take a trip to Paris, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to Avengers number 71. First appearance of the Invaders. Everybody's talking Invaders lately. Paul, post that shit on IG. No, man. Too many memes, man, but just know I'm an island boy. That's all. Cap, Torch, Subby, Black Knight also joins the Avengers in this group. So, as popular as those joining the meetups and things like that have been this year, we've seen it across comics. That is a thing. Black Knight being, he's going to be an important part in this next phase. You also have.
Hold up. Did you call him Subby?
Yep.
Is that an actual nickname or is that something you just coined?
I just.
Okay, all right. I thought I missed the boat on that or something.
Yeah, no. Are you okay or?
No.
I can change it. I can put Submariner.
No. I was just I thought it was I missed the boat. I thought Subby was a new term that people were calling Submariner.
Yeah, the kids. Well, maybe after this, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, so Black Knight, you know, he's going to be a very important character moving forward in the next phase. Raw copies of this book, $20 to $80. So you can find it cheap in the wild. Again, $20 to $80 on eBay, which means maybe 1/5 of that. So maybe you're looking at about $10 to $60 somewhere in there, just depending on grade, of course. Just to give you some numbers here. So a 9.0 sold for $735, while a 7.5 sold for $116 Canadian. Both of those sales were made in October. I just forgot to put them, but I remember that they were both in October as well.
Yeah, dude, I actually find this to be a beautiful cover, man.
Black Panther in this looks dope. I love the fact that he's scratching Captain America. The shield is also the old school one, not necessarily the new one. So
Where's Black Panther trying to grab though?
He's trying to balance himself, man. Take it easy.
Okay. All
Take
right.
it easy. But yeah, man, no, this is definitely a good book to pick up, man. And like Dan says, if you find one in a good, you know, condition, definitely pick it up. First appearance of the Invaders, dude. Speaking of the Invaders, there's some good books in there, man. In that run of the Invaders that I would also be keeping an eye out for. That was a discussion that I've had with Marvel, but we'll save that for another time. But yeah, man. Sorry.
We've talked about Invaders.
Yes, we have. Well, I feel like we never got to really go in depth. I remember sending you a ton of photos.
Yeah, and then you're like, but I'll be right back because I'm with my kids. And then
and then life took over, and here we are, like a month later.
So,
but yeah, man, definitely a book to pick up, man. For $20, I'm even at $80. I'd be a player in a high condition, man. This is a solid book to be looking out for.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be surprised if I found this for $20. I don't think I actually really found this in the wild, period. This cover actually reminds me of that whole airport scene in Civil War, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's a cool cover, and yeah, pivotal moment where Black Knight joins the Avengers. So, and it's not a book that people usually mention often. So it's one of those books that is probably flying under the radar.
Yeah, I didn't want to speak too much on Black Knight though, because you still did not see Eternals.
Yeah, but that doesn't change the fact the key in this issue though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this book is, it's important for two reasons. With Black Knight joining the Avengers and the Invaders. So, it's already got pretty substantial value. It's an old key too. So, obviously you're not going to find it, in dollar bins or anything like that. But
you never know, Face. You never know.
It's possible. But usually they pull out these older Avengers.
I found Giant Size X-Men in a dollar bin, remember? So
the facsimile?
No, the actual book. It was graded, remember?
Newbie, do you feel like this book holds a better place simply because it's the first appearance of the Invaders, or is it because Black Knight joins the Avengers, given the current state of the MCU?
I think both. I think if you look at the direction that they're going, I think both are good plays. I think you got to look at this year as a whole and look at, as much as some people want to argue it and say, no, it's not, or, that's your personal opinion, but like meetups and teams and joining teams and joining this, it has been a popular thing that, books have spiked. I mean, you look at some of the books, first team ups and things like that. I mean, a $5 book is easily, a $35, $40 book. I say that because, like I always say, if it's a book that you can find in the dollar bin, you can get 10 copies for, $10, but then you're selling them at $40. Do the math, right? That's a big book at the end. So definitely. AOA, I was just joking, man. I did a video where like I was in a dollar bin. I was going through books in my house, and then I just had my Giant Size X-Men there. So, but definitely a solid book, especially like, if you've ever wanted to travel to France, but you don't want to like pay big bucks. I mean, and you like comics, boom, there you go. Best of both worlds. So, bonjour. All right.
I don't know how I feel about that.
What, his French or what he just said before?
Both. It was.
Man, come on. West Coast Avengers 45. Now, I know what you're thinking, newbie. What? You were talking so much shit about this book when it happened. Yeah, I was. I definitely was talking a lot of shit about this book. Here is why. This book jumped to about $2,500 Canadian when he appeared in WandaVision, which made it at the time more expensive than New Mutants
Wait, did you say
98.
2,500 Canadian?
Yes.
It went that
What?
high?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, for like 2 months I was like bitching about how is this book more expensive than New Mutants 98. And it did reach that. Now it has dropped. Oh, has it dropped? A 9.8 recently sold for $667. 9.6s are going for $230 to $280. Show is done. This is definitely on the dip. However, same argument can be made like I just made for Cable. Vision will probably / more than likely come back because he literally just disappeared out of nowhere and that was it. So don't think that he's done. I think the same thing will happen once he comes up. I don't know if it'll reach $2,500 Canadian again, but you can guarantee that those 9.8s at $650 will still go up in price. And just like you guys, yes, before the show, I do remember this book being like a $20 to $40 book everywhere and anywhere.
Bro,
But definitely it exploded. I still think it's got opportunity to do the same thing when the character shows up again because it's already been proven.
you're saying that you remember before the show they were like $20 to $40, dude. It's nuts to even hear that a 9.8 sold recently at $667 simply because, man, I remember seeing this book so dirt cheap in the bins, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
all the time.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not gonna speak for everybody, but I think it's safe to say that a majority of collectors kicked themselves after this book simply because it exploded beyond and it hit prices that I can't believe it even hit. But it is what it is, man. Would I be a player now for it at that price? I don't think so. I'll be honest. It's only because, like I said, maybe it's because I've seen it so often, right? At such low prices that once it exploded, I was like, fuck this. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way I'll ever get it. I'll never pay that money for it because I know what it is and I'll hope that it crashes even more. That's me being hopeful, but Nubi, you do bring up good points on the fact that, yes, you know, he's still going to be within the MCU. He did disappear. He floated out and just took off. So we'll see. But yeah, for the drop, it did drop significantly, dude. You said it was at 2,500?
2,500. It fucking passed New Mutants, man. Go back when that show was going on. And I ranted about it probably every show we did. I was like, how the fuck is this thing more expensive than Deadpool?
Yeah. Yeah, but you see, that's the thing. It's like I feel like 2,500, you can get a first appearance of Vision. You know what I mean? Like,
now, here's the thing. Marvel, yeah, and you guys are saying that. But here's the argument. And the flip side of that is moving forward, now we know that he's going to be this white or this robotic or whatever politically correct term you want to use for it. That's the character we're going to get. Now, here's what I think is going to happen. And I'm not saying that this is going to hold at that price, but he literally showed up as that white Vision, robotic, whatever, for a short period of time. And then it went out, just took off, and the book jumped to that price.
Yeah, no.
Say we don't get another trailer of something and he's in it as that white Vision. Guess what's going to happen to this book? It's going to go up in price again. Will it reach $2,500 again? I don't think so, but will it reach that $1,200, maybe $1,400 range that most books 9.8 as soon as something gets hot happens? Yes, I do. So therefore, I think you could double your money and it pass, that $1,000 threshold, especially if you're getting it at. I mean, in October it was 667. Right now, maybe it could be a little bit less. It's going to get another dip because again, when it's not in our face, we don't care about it. So I could see this book kind of reaching the $450, $500 range in 9.8, and that's when you kind of want to be a player at it. So definitely a book I'd be, just keeping an eye on.
But again, yes, keep an eye on in the sense of it hits such high highs that are absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion, at 2,500. Dude, even at $1,000, I find it's an odd book to hit such high prices.
But there are Vision fans out there, right?
No, dude, for sure. But if there's Vision fans, like I said, I would go for the first appearance of Vision rather than at those high prices of like 1,000, 2,000. Like it's that's heavy money. But hey, to each their own. But yeah, given the dip that you're saying from $2,500 to $667, you know he'll be back, and if it will pick up. It will pick up simply because. But again, it's just if I keep talking, you know, I just how I feel about this one. On to you, Hype.
I honestly don't have much to add except listen, if for the amount of money that you guys have put on the slide, I'd much rather be a player for the original Vision. If Vision was my character. And I mean I've never been like partial to Vision, the original or the white version. So this was a book that I, like BC said, I passed myself. Am I really kicking myself? Not really, because it's still not really on my radar, despite the fact that he's still in the MCU. So it's like, and yeah, inevitably he will be popping up back. I don't know if this was 100% confirmed, but yeah, I did hear rumblings that that he should be resurfacing back in the MCU. But again, it's just like I'll watch him when he's on screen, but it's not like something that I'm actually like. Again, if I find it cheap in the back bins, yeah, I'll be a fool not to take it. But I'm not actually gonna shell out a lot of money just for this.
King of Golden State is dropping in. Man, I love going back and forth with this guy because he hunts in amazing ways and he brings out the heat when he hunts, man. So I always love seeing what this guy pulls out of bins and stuff like that. But King of Golden State, what's going on, brother? Thanks for stopping by. Chad, always thoughtful. He says, "This book is dumb."
Straight to the point. Thank you.
I have spoken.
Well, I mean, he's not necessarily wrong, but
no, I'm not saying it's all about book either. I'm not saying it's like, hey, go. You know, I'm just saying.
No,
you're looking for.
You're not wrong.
I think it is. I also, honestly, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I also might be a player at the 9.6. I mean, I know that recently in September it sold for $235, but if I could get a 9.6 anywhere between like maybe 180, 200, I'd take that gamble. I think I would.
Well, the thing about this one is that it would be basically all about timing, because you know, obviously, they haven't resolved the White Vision storyline, so you're gonna see him show up again. We know that because they're gonna eventually resolve that. You would think. So, you know, like you said, it's worth keeping an eye on because it is on the downslide, and it'll probably continue to go down because it'll be a little bit before we see him. So there will be more opportunities to grab them at even lower prices. And then whenever a trailer hits with him in it, people will get excited seeing him and everything because they're not going to show him going back to his regular form in the trailer. You know, they're not going to show the resolution of that storyline. So that would probably be about the timing when you'd want to offload this, if that's your intention. Because you know, it feels like they probably will resolve that pretty soon. They do have more storytelling potential with Vision down the road too, though. Yeah. You know, like the Visions miniseries by Tom King is perfectly suited for a Disney Plus series, and it would introduce another next gen character in Viv. So, you know, there's definitely potential on this, but it's going to be all about timing.
Just like life,
right?
Or if you've watched Any Given Sunday, the inches are everywhere around us.
Yes, great movie.
That's like one of my favorites. Hyper and Face are probably like, what the fuck just happened?
No, I mean, it used to be my favorite.
Well, we're always like that.
just to do a little quick math, and I see some people are like, oh, you know, like cosmic change. It's not the costume change per se. It's just the fact that we know he's coming back. He's going to be as the White Vision, so there's still some money to be made if you're looking at it from an investment, right? I mean, you could buy 6 copies at $3,000, let's say, 500 a piece and 9/8. And when he comes back, I mean, if we look at history at what happens, these books, as soon as they come back and you were able to flip them really quick, I mean, you're looking at $1,200. You're looking at almost $600-700 profit on each book. You do that 6 times over. What is that? 7 times 6 is 42.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're looking at almost $4,200 profit if you were to do it, and everything worked out for you. But just that's kind of where there is meat on the bone. You don't have to buy 6 of them. You could buy one and just take your $500-600. But I don't think anybody can argue that. We know this character is coming back. We saw what happened when he first arrived. The book just went bonkers and past $2,000 Canadian, guys. Now I'm talking Canadian prices, past $2,000. So if it's at 6 now and he shows up again, well, who's to say it doesn't go to like the 1,000, 12, 13, 14? Because it happens. It happens to all the characters, right? Black Knight, for example. Black Knight before the movie was an $1,800 book and a 7.0. I know because I have a 7.0. Now a 7.0 is like $1,100. So everything, it's all in cycles. Now what's going to happen next when Black Knight shows up next? Well, guess what? It's probably going to go back to that 1,800 or 2,000, things like that. It's just the way it is, right? So,
AOA, man, to answer your question, I think I would say Black Suit Spider-Man on another, books where the price went up.
Iron Man 1. Because he gets a new armor. Nobody talks about that. He's got the old one.
I'm with King of the Golden State. He put a comment in chat there a minute ago. That Vision series by Tom King. That's a good one to look at for people.
Yeah. Not many, though. Again, I wouldn't keep this book necessarily, but if I had a few extra dollars, I do think that is still undervalued. And that's the premise of the show. Daredevil's another one, Specsman. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that was probably the best thing ever.
Yeah. But like it does show that this book is still undervalued and things like that. You got to kind of look at the history, and it's always I'm starting to get on the train of characters that we know are coming back, and we're definitely going to see this version of Vision again. So I think that there's meat on the bone on this one for sure. All right, guys, one of my favorite books right now. And I am so surprised. Yes, I'm singing. I am so surprised that this book in a 9.8 is like 200. Hype gets.
What the fuck is this?
I
keep forgetting to change the avatar.
I'm still shocked that this book in a 9.8 is going down and down more and more. I just recently bought a 9.8 for 180, I can't remember. I just bought a lot of books, but 180, let's say right now, Canadian for a 9.8 of this book. This has got a lot of potential. It's shocking to me, but this one day will be $1,000 book.
I have not one but two that are already not too far from $1,000, but they're third prints. Sorry, Hyper.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, dude. If anyone's looking, do try to find those second, third prints out there too, man, because those are already fetching some good coin. But yeah, man, these books, dude, I feel like it was already hot for a minute, if I'm not mistaken. Like a lot of people were.
Sorry, I can't see what that is. What is that?
It's a turkey, dude.
Oh, okay. I couldn't see.
But yeah, dude, there's tons of reasons, man, to pick this up. I'm definitely a player. I have a few, and it's just still affordable, man. You said it's dropping, and yeah, man, 200 is pretty fair.
They were $350 Canadian in. Yeah. Hold on, let me tell you. In August, $350.
Damn. So yeah, it's already quite a dip, but hey, man, it's a modern first appearance of this team, and dude, it's already reached a good coin considering that's my opinion. Nothing has broken news-wise regarding this team, so it's still affordable. 100%. Do pick them up, and like I said, try to find those later prints too, man, because they fetch good coin already. So
that Filipino one with the flag, that's like the grail of it. That is like a $3,000 book, I think.
Because that was exclusive to the Philippines, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know that. I'm just saying, like, we saw one at a show, me and Just Cruise, and yeah, I think the guy wanted 2,400 Canadian. I can't remember.
Yeah, no, but the big book for that character is the one that was exclusive to the like some Filipino con or something. Yeah. Oh wait, BC, are you done?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I like these kind of books, similar to like Young Avengers, where you have multiple first appearances, so it's almost like you're kind of casting your net wide. So, you know, it's one of those situations where inevitably one or two of these characters can probably make it big, or even the whole team for that matter. Because I mean, with Shang-Chi getting introduced to the MCU, you're gonna see a lot more penetration into the Asian market,
Yep.
and they're gonna be he could be like a gateway, like I mentioned before, to other characters being introduced in that demo. And there's a lot of cool characters in this team. Like, I mean, I know it's not Swordmaster's first appearance, but it's his first cover appearance. And you have Wave, and what was the other character's name? Luna Snow.
Yep. There's
Yep.
Luna Snow.
Swordmaster is number 2, right? That's his first appearance.
That's his first appearance.
Yeah.
There's Arrow.
There's Arrow, yeah.
Yeah, and Arrow had her own solo series. I mean, again, the thing is, it's like their solo series. I know wasn't exactly. It was kind of met with mixed reactions, but
Yeah.
people were high on this team when they first came out. I remember all my LCSs had copies sold out that week. I was fortunate enough to grab 2 copies at cover. So, and I have a second print. I'm missing the third print, but such is life.
I've been doing what King Golden State is saying. And Just Cruz knows because I sold a few before I actually became friends and stuff with Just Cruz. But we actually started talking first because he was buying raw copies of Agents of Atlas #1. But I am starting to get, like, even at $200 for a slab and a 9.8, I'm a player. I am starting to kind of stack the stack on issue #2, the Swordmaster one.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
I found one at the last show that we went to, the fellas and I, and I think I bought, like, well, BC, you have it. I mean, mine's a 9.8 candidate. I paid $20 for it, so I mean, I can't be mad at that, man.
No, exactly, man, and it's you bought at such a good price for $20. Dan, this book's probably 2 years old.
It came out in 2019.
Yeah, exactly. So there's tons of first appearances. You got the first team up. Like everyone said, there's tons of opportunity to bring in multiple characters through this. Everything happening MCU related after Shang-Chi, we all know there's a great possibility. But yeah, man, they're still super affordable, man. So do stock up. And like you were saying, man, Swordmaster issue 2 too. I don't know if you had that next or not, but definitely pick it up and don't mix it up, guys. It's War of the Realms, New Agents of Atlas, not New Agents of Atlas #1.
Because they did have a solo series after this.
Yeah, exactly. It was the whole Agents of Atlas, like you said, was meh at most.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely a book with a lot of potential. Just given the number of characters and everything like that are getting their first appearances or first cover appearances or whatever. There's a lot of them are really cool characters. Yeah, like you said, the solo series that they had may not have been the best afterwards, but the characters themselves are cool, and people are excited to see a lot of them show up. A lot of people think they're going to show up. A lot of people want to see them. So it's only a matter of time, I think, before we see some movement on this.
Yeah, and with the success of Shang-Chi, like that Asian mark and stuff like that, bringing in these minority groups and stuff like that, like it's proven that it could work. So why not? I think it's going to be a good success, and I think that this is going to be one of those books that, like all of us at one point or another did. I'll get it. You know what? I'll buy this later. I'll buy it later. And then you see it jump $300. You're like, I'll get it later. And then you see it jump to 500. And you're like, I'll get it later. And then when it reaches $1,000 because it's like mainstream and it's popular, or it goes even north of 1,000, you're like, fuck, I can't get it. Right. So $200 for a 9.8 Canadian. Like I said, I paid $180 for mine. If you can get a book that has a lot of potential for $180 with triple digits and the first number being 1, you should grab it. So make sure you do. Even the Swordmaster one, #2. That
And
and a
he-
9.8 is like $300.
Yeah, the thing is,
So,
the Swordmaster one probably has a lower print count than issue one because
yeah,
there's
there's
probably been a
also
drop off after that first issue normally, which is the
but there's
case.
also later prints on issue 2 as well, so keep an eye out.
yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Boom. One of my
Campeones.
favorite books that I own. A few are at CGC right now. I cannot wait. But we've got Champions #1. This book I love. I love. Why? Because Mel V put me on this book many moons ago, years ago. And when he did, I found like 10 copies at the Kitchener warehouse for $1. Like it was, it was great. This book has a lot of potential as well. So it's the first appearance of the Champions team. This is the team rumored, or the team that everybody talks about being next. Roz, you can find anywhere between $20 and $80, depending on condition, right? A lot of them that I see in that top corner in that red square, that corner is usually a little bit dent, or it's got like a little paper flick or something like that. But there are some good copies out there, so just be careful. Make sure you get the first print, because there's a lot of people who don't know that there's a second, I believe a third print. The colors are different, so like in the actual wording in Champions, the C there, that gold C, is a different color. But yeah, 9.8s are selling for $200
And I
Canadian.
think there's also one per store actually.
Yeah, there is one per store too. But it's $200, man. It's got a lot of potential.
Well, to tie into one of the books you were talking about, with the origin of Amadeus Cho, this could be a great way for him to also come in, right? Should we end up seeing Sam Alexander? We got Miss Marvel there. Just want to put it out there, though. First appearance of the Champions. This is this team. This team, I believe, was around the time. It was shortly after Civil War II. That this one took place. There is another Champions, which I'm sure we're all aware of prior.
Yeah, 75, I think.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, this is definitely a book to pick up. Now, $20 to $80 Canadian. That is absolutely fucking bonkers. If anyone's paying that money, don't do it. They're still out there. $20 is fair. Don't go 80. Like that's absolutely ridiculous. 9.8s, sure. At $198, that totally makes sense. But yeah, definitely a book to pick up. Be on the lookout. Try to find them on the low, man. I wouldn't spend more than even $30. It's like it hurts the wallet, man. On my end.
Yeah, this was one of those books that, for the longest time was at card price. I never picked it up. And I mean, like, I just feel like this is one of those books that you should be able to find lucky enough, like in a back bin somewhere. So I honestly, even at $20, I probably wouldn't pay. That's just me though, personally. I'd probably be one of those people that's hunting and trying to find it for around 10 or less in a back bin. And I feel that at some point that could happen, because even though the book is heating up, it's still, I don't want to, how can I put it? It still hasn't caught on with everyone, so to speak. There are some LCSs that are probably still putting this in their back bins. So
yeah,
I wouldn't really jump on eBay and pay those high prices. I'm sure you could find deals for this one. And especially, I feel like this book has kind of cooled off a bit.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, though. You can find this in bins if you look hard enough and everything like that. But I mean, that's the goal. You find something like this and then grab it for a couple dollars, and it heats up later. There's definitely a lot of potential here with this team. Obviously, everybody wants to see them at some point in live action. We all want to see these characters get together. It's it's the next gen of Avengers or whatever. I know we have the Young Avengers and whatnot, but this is the team that people want to see more than anything. I think
Champions has got more of a future than Young Avengers. I think, I don't know, we'll see. Not like anything's wrong with Young Avengers, don't get me wrong, but
yeah, it's just Champions is like the bigger of the next gen teams, I think.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we all got along. Damn. I know that Marvell is saying he prefers issue 16. Spexman is saying issue 22. You can't go wrong with those ones either. If you
for sure
are keeping score at home, 22 is the one with Cho and her on the cover. It's like her first, like one of the suits there. That is rumored to be the suit that she wears. 16 is when Joaquin Torres, Locust, and Riri join the champions. A lot of people sometimes ask me, like, well, Newbie, she's not on the cover there. Where is she? I go, she hasn't joined the team until 16. So, yeah. But that's the show. So I appreciate it.
That felt quick, bro.
Dude, we've been on an hour and a half. What do you mean?
Not bad. It was a good time. Good time.
Yeah. And there's so many more books, but I mean, it's just a conversation. Tuesday night convo. Just quickly before we leave, what do you guys got coming up? I know you guys just had Dan on the show yesterday. Anything you want to let the people know for Monday?
I actually missed the show last night, but
slacker.
Dude, life takes over. But I caught the replay.
We saw you in the chat.
Yeah, 22, Dan Del Toro.
Right?
It was awesome. It was a good convo. So if you guys have the opportunity, head over to Comic Kingpins and catch the replay. And speaking of which, we have a 250 sub giveaway, man. Do go and subscribe. We have tons of free stuff to give away, but we can only do so once we hit 250. So that's what we need for you guys. Spread the word. Go check us out on IG. Comic Kingpins, it's one word, and you'll find us. There's myself, there's Hyper, you got Face, you got Keys, you got Comic Dude, and we keep bringing new content almost weekly, man. There's tons of stuff coming, so be on the lookout.
Yeah, perfect.
Couldn't say it better.
Speaking of giveaways, I got one coming up myself, so we're about 450. Yeah, we're about like 350, 400 away. So we got a ways to go, so things will come out. There was a photo I posted of a leak of some of the stuff that's coming out. So tell your grandma, your mailman, your postman, your neighbor, the guy that runs the dog park, whatever the case may be, tell them Newbie Comics is out there. If they say, what? Just tell them to sub up. Also to the Comic Kingpins. I just dropped a video yesterday. Make sure you guys go check it out. Basically, I sold my Thor 165 5.5 CGC for $1,050 Canadian. Go see what I bought in exchange. I think you'll be very surprised. I know people are like, why would you sell that book? Just trust me. Go watch the video, please. I got another video dropping probably next week, same time, Monday. But we'll be back on Monday. New comic book day, comic news, comic spec.
Even Sunday.
What did I say?
You said Monday. You're taking over our time slot.
No, he's coming on Monday, guys.
Sunday we'll be talking about that. We'll probably lots to talk about. Of course, new comic book day tomorrow. There's a lot of first appearances coming out at the week. And of course, Thanksgiving. And of course, Hawkeye. So lots to talk about. My friends in the US, I won't be able to message everybody who watches, but happy Thanksgiving. Hope you guys have a great one. We had ours last month because that's what we do in Canada. We have it in October, but hope you enjoy the football, enjoy the turkey. Don't drink and drive. Don't do all that foolishness, man. Just enjoy the family, enjoy the football, enjoy the turkey. All right. That's the show. Later.
Peace.
Take care, guys.